Hi, this is D.G. Markle with MyEcomax.com, and I'm with Joe Medlin with Granite Transformations today. And Joe has got a very unique product that's new to Montgomery in the sustainable home market, and that is recycled glass. And Joe, talk to us a little bit about how they take the glass and recycle it. Let's talk about that process first.
Well, DG, this has been an amazing product, and people are just really catching on to the wave because it's a win-win for everyone. Before we were taking old bottles, and that's what largely a lot of our materials are, post-consumer or post-industrial, and they were taking them and filling up old landfills with them. Now they're putting these aside, and a lot of people have the extra little bins beside their trash receptacles where they're putting those away. Well, they get processed, then they get actually crushed down to a specific size dimension for us. And we have a plant down in Sebring, Florida, just outside of Orlando, where they actually take these particles of glass then, they blend them with a special polymer, they put a reinforcing matrix on them, they use a special curing process, and they actually run it down a mile-long conveyor to diamond polish the top surface of it. So what you get is a really neat use of an old broken bottle. And you get superior performance, easier maintenance than you have with a lot of the other countertops. In fact, it's #1 rated by one of the leading consumer research magazines. So it's a phenomenal product, never have to seal it. You can put hot things right on top of it. You know, bottles are very sturdy and durable. Well, this is that same kind of property, just used in a countertop surface.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the maintenance and the care for it. If I'm a cook and I'm cutting on there, how well does it stand up to the really nice cutlery that's used in preparing food?
Absolutely. It was a great question, DG, and this product is just phenomenal. We've actually had it using standardized engineering tests in a number of different applications. It holds up exceptionally well to routine food application. In fact, it's certified safe for commercial food preparation areas. It's in a number of different restaurants and fine dining establishments actually all over the world. Because of its durability, it also doesn't absorb bacteria, other liquids. If you're preparing chicken or other meats, even juice and milk can get down into and create a kind of a cultural breeding ground for odors, bacteria, and those types of things. You don't have to worry about it because it's completely non-porous.
Okay. What about temperature? Back and forth, cold, hot, this type of thing. How does it hold up?
It's extremely well adapted to that. Huge heat cycle swings. It's phenomenal. In fact, my wife uses it on a routine basis. Pulls a pan right out of the oven, 400, 450 degrees, sets it right on the countertop. No impact whatsoever. Some of the other competitive products have had a number of issues, with them, and so that's a great savings tool and just a great sign of durability for this product.
What about staining and cleaning and marking and things like that? How does that work?
Well, that's product. The staining issue, really is highly correlated to the porosity of the product. Ours being non-porous, it's extremely difficult. In fact, I don't know of any staining issues that we've ever had, and we've been here almost 5 years now. The glass has only been out a few years, but it's proved exceptionally well for staining. Other issues in terms of impact or scratch holds up extremely well to that because of the polymer that we put into it makes it an extremely hard surface.
So is there any other attributes about this recycled glass surface we haven't talked about?
Well, one is really interesting that you mentioned actually earlier when we were talking is the installation process is quite unique. What we do in almost every case is we go over an existing countertop. So if you imagine if this were an old countertop, we actually will fabricate a shell or an overlay that fits exactly to the specifications of that existing countertop. What that means is a less messy installation, a faster installation, more, less downtime, and just a much more consumer-friendly application of a new countertop.
So Joe, if I hear you correctly, you're telling me that you'll come in, fit my new countertop over my existing one, therefore we're not ripping out the old one and throwing it into a landfill.
Exactly. So that's another benefit to the environment because all these old countertops have to go somewhere. Not with ours. We just actually recycle them into a giant shock absorber. So It's a great.
So if folks who are watching this on our website at myecomax.com and they want to get in touch with you, where can they find Granite Transformations?
Sure, they can find us either by phone at, of course, 334-273-8144. We're on the website at granitetransformations.com, and we have a showroom just off the Eastern Boulevard on Lagoon Business Loop.